Happy 25th, man. Liam clapped me on the back, his grin wide and confident. Big day, huh? You finally going to ask Clara?
Yeah, I said, trying to keep my voice steady.
My heart was racing. I bought the ring yesterday. Simple but elegant. Just like her, Liam whistled. You're serious, huh? My little brother's growing up, I laughed, shaking my head. You're only 2 years older. Don't start acting like a dad, he smirked. Still, I'm proud. You've always been the loyal one. Loyal, I repeated under my breath. That's one way to say boring. He grinned wider. Nah, you just love too hard, that's all. We spent the morning together setting up the small surprise at my apartment. Candles, wine, her favorite playlist. Liam said he'd make sure Clara showed up exactly at 8. I trusted him completely. By 6, I couldn't sit still. I kept rehearsing my words in my head. Clara, I've never been sure of anything in my life until I met you. No, that sounded too cheesy. You're my home. Better. Simpler. True. Noah called. You nervous, bro? I feel like my chest is about to explode. He laughed. Good. That means you care. Don't mess it up by fainting mid-proposal. I smiled. I'll try to stay conscious. When I hung up, I looked at the small velvet box on the table. The ring glimmered under the warm light. My hands were shaking. I didn't know love could make a man this weak and strong at the same time. At 7:30, Liam texted, all set. She's at your place. I told her to wait for you. Perfect. I grabbed the cake, the flowers, the ring. My heart was light, my mind full of her laugh, her eyes, the way she always said, I love you, like it was a promise carved into air. But the moment I opened my apartment door, the world split in two. I heard it before I saw it. Soft gasps, muffled laughter. My name almost slipped from Clara's lips. Then silence. Ethan, she stuttered, eyes wide, her shirt halfway on. Liam stood behind her, shirtless, smirking like nothing was wrong. Guess you're early. My hand went numb. The cake slipped. It hit the floor, frosting spreading like blood. I couldn't breathe. You, my voice cracked. You both? Clara reached for me, tears already forming. It's not what it looks like, I laughed. It sounded broken. Oh, really? Then what is it, Clara? Some kind of early birthday gift? Liam sighed. Ethan, calm down. Don't you dare! I shouted. The walls echoed my voice. You're my brother! He shrugged. I didn't plan this, okay? It just happened. It just happened? I repeated, the words like acid in my mouth. You knew what today was? Clara started crying. I didn't mean to hurt you. We got drunk after dinner last week. I thought you knew. Knew? I took a step back, my heart burning. You thought I knew you were sleeping with him? Her sobs filled the silence. Liam put on his shirt, eyes cold. Look, you're overreacting. It's not like you're married. I stared at him, disbelief twisting into rage. You ruin everything you touch. Maybe, he said quietly, but at least I live honestly. My fists clenched. For a second I wanted to hit him, but all I felt was emptiness. Clara stepped closer. Please, Ethan, I made a mistake. I still love you. Don't, my voice came out sharp. Don't say that word, she trembled. Please, just listen. No, I whispered. I listened to every lie you told. I believed every smile. You looked me in the eyes this morning and told me you loved me. And this, I gestured at the mess, at her, at him. This is what that meant? She tried to touch my arm. I stepped back. Liam crossed his arms. Maybe you should leave, Clara. I stared at him. You don't get to tell anyone what to do in my home. He smirked again. That same damn smirk he wore when he beat me at everything as a kid. Something inside me broke. I picked up the cake box, smashed it against the wall, and walked out. Ethan! Clara cried behind me. I didn't look back. The night air hit my face, cold and sharp. My hands shook, my chest felt hollow. My birthday candles were probably still burning inside, waiting for someone who didn't exist anymore. I kept walking until the sound of her voice disappeared, and in that silence, I realized I'm the person I was before that door opened. Died there. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them. Her lips on his hand on her waist, my world falling apart like glass underfoot. The phone buzzed nonstop. Messages from friends. Missed calls. Gossip travels fast when the wound is still bleeding. When Mom called, I almost didn't answer. but guilt made me swipe. "Hey," I muttered. "Ethan," she said softly. "Liam told me everything." I froze. "Everything?" She hesitated. "He didn't mean to hurt you. You know how emotional he can be." "It just happened," I laughed, bitter. "That's the same line Clara used." "Don't talk like that," she said sharply. "You're brothers. You'll regret this anger someday." "Regret?" My throat tightened. "He slept with the woman I loved. On my birthday." Silence. Then, "He said you pushed them away first. Maybe she felt lonely." The words hit harder than the betrayal itself. "You believe him?" "I'm saying people make mistakes." "Then I guess I'm the biggest one," I whispered, and hung up before she could say my name again. The next day, Noah showed up at my door. I didn't even open it at first. He just kept knocking. "Ethan, I know you're in there. Don't make me break it down." I unlocked it. He stepped in, looked around the dark room, and frowned. "Man, it smells like you died in here." Maybe I did. He sat down on the couch beside me. "Don't say that." I stared at the cold cup of coffee on the table. She was everything, Noah, and now I can't even hate her right. "You don't have to hate her. Just don't let her destroy you." "She already did." He leaned forward. "Then rebuild yourself. Not for her. For you." I wanted to believe that. But the ache in my chest made it impossible. Do you know what hurts the most? It's not that she cheated. It's that it was him. My brother. Noah nodded slowly. "That's why you can't fight them. They already live in your head." "Take that back." I rubbed my face. "How?" "Start by standing up," he said. "Take a shower. Eat something. Then block them both." "I can't, not yet," he sighed. "Then at least promise me you won't call her." I didn't answer. He looked at me, disappointed but patient. "I'll come back tomorrow. Don't drown in this." When he left, the silence was unbearable. My phone lit up again. "Clara, can we talk?" "Please." I stared at it for 10 minutes before typing back. One time. Public place. We met that evening at the small cafe near my office. She was already there, sitting by the window, hair tied up, pretending to look fragile. When she saw me, she smiled nervously. "You came. Say what you need to say," she exhaled shakily. "It just happened, Ethan. I didn't plan it. You were distant, and I felt alone." I almost laughed. "So sleeping with my brother fixed your loneliness?" Tears welled up. "I'm sorry. I made a mistake." "Mistake?" I leaned forward. "A mistake is forgetting someone's birthday, not destroying them on it." "Please don't be cruel." "I still care about you." I shook my head slowly. "You cared enough to lie in my bed and then his." "Stop," she whispered. "You're making it worse." "I'm not making anything worse." "You already did that," her voice cracked. "I just want you to understand." "I understand perfectly," I said coldly. "You wanted something exciting. Liam gives you that, right?" She didn't answer. Just looked down, ashamed or pretending to be. I stood up. "You know, I used to think love made me stronger. But now I see it just made me blind." She reached for my wrist. "Please don't walk away like this." I pulled my hand back. "You walked away first," her lips trembled. "Ethan, I still—" "Don't!" I cut her off. "You don't get to say you love me anymore." She fell silent, tears running down her cheeks. I didn't feel pity, only emptiness. I turned toward the door. "I hope he was worth everything you lost." When I stepped outside, the air felt colder, cleaner. My heart still hurt, but it beat differently, steadier, sharper. I whispered to myself, "Never again." She'll never see me broken again. That was the first promise I made to myself, and the only one I planned to keep. 3 weeks passed before I could walk into a cafe without feeling like everyone was staring at me. That day, I just wanted caffeine, not memories. But then I saw her, Maya Reed, Clara's best friend. She was sitting alone by the window, tapping her nails against the table, her face tight with anger. When her eyes met mine, she froze. "Ethan," she said cautiously, "didn't think I'd see you here." "Didn't think I'd see you either." She motioned toward the seat across from her. "You look like hell." "I feel worse." A small smirk tugged at her lips. "Good, you deserve coffee then." I sat down. "So, you still talk to Clara?" Her smirk vanished. "Don't even say her name." I leaned back. "That bad?" "She's a selfish traitor," Maya snapped. voice sharp enough to cut glass. She used me to cover for her little secret with your brother. I defended her when everyone whispered. Turns out I was covering for a liar. Her anger startled me. So you didn't know? She scoffed. If I did, she'd be missing a few teeth. I couldn't help but chuckle bitterly. You sound like you mean that. I do. She stirred her coffee violently. You know what's funny? She told me she loved you. Said you were safe. Guess safe wasn't enough. Apparently not. Maya looked up, her eyes meeting mine. You still love her? The question hit like a slap. Love? No, I'm... Past that? Liar, I smiled faintly. Maybe, but what I feel now isn't love. It's something darker. She raised an eyebrow. Like revenge? I didn't answer. My silence said enough. Maya leaned closer, her tone half curious, half warning. You want to hurt her? I just want her to know how it feels. Her eyes softened, but not out of pity. Out of understanding. That's dangerous thinking. So's betrayal, I said quietly. For a while, we just sat there. The clinking of cups, the low hum of conversations, the smell of burnt espresso, it all faded into background noise. Finally, she said, You're not the first person she's hurt, Ethan, but you might be the first who can make her regret it. I looked at her. Really looked. She wasn't like Clara. Maya had sharp eyes and a guarded smile, someone who'd seen too much and trusted too little. What would you do? I asked. If you were me? I'd make her watch me move on, she said. I'd make her hate herself for what she lost. A dangerous idea flickered in my mind. And what if I move on? With you? Her eyebrows shot up. That's bold. It'd make her jealous. It'd make you cruel. I shrugged. She was cruel first. Maya studied me for a long second. So you'd use me to hurt her? I didn't say that. You didn't have to, I sighed. Maybe it's selfish. Maybe I just want to stop feeling like a victim. Then be something else, she said firmly. Don't let her define you. Her words hit me harder than I expected. You sound like Noah. Who's Noah? My best friend. He says I should rebuild instead of burn. Maybe he's right. She paused, then smiled faintly. But sometimes burning things down is how you rebuild. Our eyes locked. I couldn't tell if she was warning me or daring me. I leaned in. Would you help me? She blinked. Help you what? Help me make her see what she threw away. Maya exhaled, her voice dropping low. This isn't some movie, Ethan. People get hurt for real. I'm already hurt. She looked at me for a long, tense moment, then whispered, You really mean it, don't you? I do. A strange smile spread across her face, half amusement, half darkness. Fine, I'll help. But only because she deserves it. Deal. She extended her hand. I shook it, feeling the spark of something I couldn't name. Anger, curiosity, maybe even attraction. As she stood to leave, she said, If you're going to play this game, Ethan, play it well. Don't fall for me, I almost laughed. Don't worry. I'm done falling. But as I watched her walk away, something inside me whispered a lie I didn't want to believe. I already had. The first time Maya held my hand in public, it felt like a lie wrapped in truth. We were walking past the bookstore Clara used to drag me into every weekend. Maya's fingers slipped into mine. Firm, casual, just enough to be seen. She's watching, Maya whispered without moving her lips. I followed her gaze. Clara stood across the street holding a cup of iced coffee, pretending not to look. She sees us, I muttered. Good, Maya said. Smile, I forced a grin. It felt unnatural. Not like that, she teased. You look constipated. Try again, I snorted despite myself. You're terrible at this. Terrible. I'm the reason your ex looks like she bit a lemon. When I glanced back, Clara's jaw had tightened. The sight sent a strange thrill through me, part victory, part guilt. That night, Clara texted. Clara, so you moved on that fast? I stared at the screen for a long time. Maya noticed. Let me guess, she said, leaning over. Queen Betrayal checking in? I showed her the message. She grinned. Oh, she's burning. Perfect. It's working, I said softly. Of course it's working. You look good when you're pretending to be happy. Pretending, I repeated, feeling the word twist inside me. She nudged my shoulder. Don't tell me you're feeling bad for her. I don't know what I'm feeling. Then don't overthink it. We're just acting. Just acting. That was supposed to make it easier. But days turned into weeks, and the act started feeling less like a mask and more like a mirror. We went to cafes, laughed about meaningless things, posted pictures. Maya played the part effortlessly, her arm always brushing mine, her laughter real enough to fool anyone watching, except sometimes. I couldn't tell if it was fooling me too. One evening, we were sitting on her balcony, watching the city lights flicker below. She was scrolling through her phone when she said, "You have your revenge face on again." My what? Your revenge face. That look you get when you're plotting in silence. Kinda scary, kinda hot, I laughed. Thanks, I guess. She turned to me. What are you thinking? Just wondering when it stops feeling fake, she frowned. You mean us? Yeah, the pretending. She put her phone down, her tone suddenly serious. You know what I think? You're starting to like this too much. Maybe, I admitted. Or maybe I just like not being the broken one anymore. She studied me. You're allowed to move on, Ethan, even if it started as a game. I hesitated. What about you? Is it still a game for you? Her lips curved slightly. Ask me that when I'm not sitting next to you. Her answer lingered in my chest long after she said it. Later that night, as I walked home, Clara texted again. Clara, you don't even look happy with her, I almost replied. Then I didn't. What was there to say? That she was wrong? That maybe I was? The next day, Maya and I met at the park. She handed me a coffee. You didn't text her back, did you? No. Good. Let her stew. She said I didn't look happy. Maya took a sip. Then let's fix that. How? She reached out, cupped my face, and said, Smile like you mean it. I tried, but her hand on my cheek changed everything. For a second, the noise of the park faded. The laughter, the birds, even the bitterness. It was just her eyes. Steady and unguarded. Maya, I murmured, voice barely holding steady. Relax. It's just for show, she said. But her hand didn't move right away, and neither did my heartbeat. Later, she laughed it off. I didn't. When I got home, I looked at our photos online. The way she looked at me didn't seem fake. The way I looked at her definitely wasn't. I kept scrolling, my thumb hesitating over one picture, her laughing with her hair falling over her face. I remembered thinking she looked real, honest, the opposite of Clara, and that scared me more than anything because the plan was simple. Make Clara jealous, make her regret, but every time Maya smiled at me, I forgot who the plan was really hurting. Before bed, I sent Maya a message. Me, thanks for today. For everything, she replied instantly. Maya, don't thank me yet. We're just getting started. I stared at the message, my chest tightening. Maybe she was right. Maybe we were just getting started. But the line between pretending and feeling was already gone, and for the first time since Clara left me, I wasn't sure if I was winning or falling again. The night buzzed with music, laughter, and too much alcohol. Maya and I walked in together, pretending not to notice every head turning toward us. You sure about this? She whispered. Too late to back out now, I said. Clara's here. Maya adjusted her dress, flashing a grin. Perfect. Let's give her a show. I tried to smile, but my stomach was a knot. Every part of me knew this night would end badly. We barely made it to the drinks table when I heard that voice, the one I used to love and now hated for how it still shook me. So, this is real? Clara's tone sliced through the music. You and her? Maya leaned closer to me, her arm sliding around my waist. Got a problem with that? Clara scoffed. You're seriously dating my best friend's trash? I froze. What did you just say? You heard me, she snapped. She's nothing but... Watch your mouth, Clara, Maya shot back, eyes blazing. Clara laughed bitterly. Oh, please, Maya, don't act like you care about him. You're just getting back at me. Funny, Maya said. That's exactly what you did to him. The crowd around us started quieting, drawn to the chaos like moths to fire. Clara turned to me. You think she really wants you, Ethan? She's using you. She always has. Something in me snapped. You don't get to say that, I said. Not after what you and Liam did. The words hit like a thunderclap. The music stopped. Conversations died. Every face turned our way. Clara's eyes widened. Ethan, no, I cut in, voice shaking. You don't get to act innocent. You slept with my brother. In my apartment. On my birthday. Gasps rippled through the room. Liam standing near the door looked ready to kill me. Ethan, stop, Clara whispered, tears forming. It wasn't supposed to what? Happen? Be found out? I stepped closer. You destroyed everything, Clara, and now you're mad because I stopped bleeding for you. Her lips trembled. You don't understand. I understand perfectly, I said. You broke me. Congratulations. Clara's tears spilled over. You're cruel, I laughed hollowly. You taught me. She turned and ran out, the sound of her heels echoing across the marble floor. Liam's glare burned into me before he followed her out. The silence that followed was deafening. Then whispers. 1,000 of them. Maya touched my arm. Ethan, hey, I pulled my hand away. I shouldn't have said that here. Maybe not, she said softly. But you needed to. People started drifting back to the party, pretending not to stare. The music resumed, low and awkward. I walked outside into the cold night air. Maya followed, heels clicking behind me. You okay? She asked. I don't even know what that means anymore, I said. I thought I'd feel better. I don't, she sighed. Closure isn't clean. I leaned against a wall, rubbing my temples. I looked at her and still felt something. Anger. Regret. I don't even know if I hate her or hate myself. Maya moved closer. You're human, Ethan. It's okay to feel both. I don't want to feel anything for her. Then feel something else, she whispered. I looked up. Like what? Her eyes caught the streetlight, warm, uncertain, real. Like me, Maya. She stepped closer, her hand brushing my cheek. I'm falling for you, Ethan. I know this started as revenge, but it's not fake anymore. Not for me, my heart stumbled. You shouldn't. Too late, she said softly. Her face was inches from mine. I could smell her perfume, feel her breath. My hands twitched, wanting to close the distance, but Clara's face flashed in my mind. The betrayal, the tears, the wreckage. I stepped back. I can't, Maya's eyes flickered. Because of her? Because of me, I said. Because I'm still broken. She exhaled, the air trembling between us. You think you're the only one? I didn't answer. She turned away, crossing her arms, pretending to be okay. I'm sorry, I whispered. Don't be, she said, voice barely steady. Just don't lie about it next time. We stood there, the night swallowing every word we didn't say. For a long moment, I wished I'd kissed her anyway. But I didn't. Because deep down I knew, love born from revenge never stays pure, and mine was already cracking. I never planned to see her again. But life had other plans. Noah was the one who told me first. Your brother's all over social media, man. He cheated on her. Some girl from his office. I didn't want to care. I told him I didn't. But that night I found myself scrolling anyway. Photos, rumors, comments. Clara's name everywhere. The perfect couple falling apart. A part of me wanted to smile. Another part just didn't. 3 days later, she texted me, Clara, can we talk, please? Just once. I stared at the screen for a long time. My thumb hovered over delete, but curiosity won. When I walked into the cafe, she was already there. Same seat, same perfume, same soft hands gripping a coffee cup like it could keep her from breaking. Ethan, she whispered. You came! Apparently, I said, sitting down. Make it quick, she flinched at my tone. I didn't know where else to go. Maybe to the guy you ruined me for? Her eyes filled fast. He's gone. He cheated. I deserved it, didn't I? I leaned back. I don't know, Clara. Karma has better timing than I do. She looked down. I keep replaying that night. I don't even know why I did it. I thought Liam understood me better. I was stupid. You were cruel, I said. Tears slipped down her cheeks. I made a mistake, Ethan. The biggest one of my life. For a second, my chest tightened, the same ache that used to crush me every night. I used to dream about hearing those words, I said quietly. I used to imagine you showing up saying you were sorry, begging me to forgive you. She looked at me desperate. Then why do you look like you hate me now? Because I finally understand something, I said. Your apology doesn't fix what you broke. You didn't just cheat on me, and you killed something in me, something that doesn't come back. She sobbed harder, hands trembling. Please, Ethan, I'm not asking for another chance. I need you to know I regret it. I stared at her, the girl who once made me believe in forever, now shattered in front of me. You regret losing me, I said. Not hurting me. That's different, she didn't argue. She just cried. People around us stared, but I didn't care. I'd spent months buried under her betrayal, craving this moment, her tears, her guilt, her pain. But now that it was here, it felt like dust in my hands. You wanted me to hurt, she whispered. And now I am. Happy? I shook my head slowly. No, just tired, she covered her face. You really don't love me anymore, do you? I hesitated. I don't even know if I remember how, her voice cracked. I never stopped. I let out a breath that burned on the way out. You did. The night you chose him, you stopped. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The air between us was heavy, too full of ghosts, too full of what-ifs. She finally whispered, Do you hate me? No, I said. That would mean I still care, she winced. Then what do you feel? Nothing, I said. And that's worse, isn't it? She nodded, broken. You used to look at me like I was your world. I did, I said. And you set it on fire, I stood up. She didn't stop me. Goodbye, Clara, I said softly. Ethan, please. Don't, I interrupted. Let this be the ending. We already ruined the story. I walked out without looking back. For the first time, she didn't follow. Outside, the air hit cold. I waited for satisfaction, for the revenge I thought I'd finally earned. But there was nothing. Just quiet, no victory. No peace. Only the hollow realization that revenge doesn't heal, it just delays the bleeding. When I got home, I saw a message from Maya waiting on my phone. Maya, you okay? I stared at it for a long time, then typed, me. I don't know, because I didn't. I had faced the ghost of what I loved, and I didn't feel stronger. Just emptier. It started quietly. A few texts, some late-night calls, then coffee that somehow lasted hours. Maya became my constant, not because I planned it, but because she stayed when everyone else didn't. One night, she showed up at my apartment unannounced, holding takeout. Dinner, she said, walking in. You look like someone who hasn't eaten since 2009, I smirked. You always bring food when you're about to lecture me. Maybe, she said, sitting on the couch. But you also look less haunted lately. Did I do that? Maybe, I echoed, handing her a fork. You talk too much, though. She laughed softly. It's a coping mechanism. Keeps me from breaking. That last line hung heavy between us. I looked up. Breaking from what? She hesitated. My ex. He wasn't kind. You ever love someone who made you hate yourself? Yeah, I said quietly. Every day, she nodded slowly. He used to tell me I was lucky he even wanted me. I believed him. Until one day he didn't want me anymore. I clenched my jaw. That's not love. That's control. I know that now, she said. That's why betrayal disgusts me. I swore I'd never let anyone make me feel small again. Her words hit deeper than she knew. I wanted to tell her everything, that I used her to hurt Clara, that our story started as revenge, not love. But the truth sat in my throat like glass. Instead, I said, You're nothing like them. She looked up, eyes soft. Neither are you, I laughed under my breath. You sure about that? Yes, she said. You could have become bitter. You didn't, I turned away. You don't know what I've done? Then tell me, she said. I shook my head. Not yet. We fell quiet, the city noise slipping through the window. I glanced at the half-eaten noodles, the flicker of TV light on her face, the way her presence filled the room like warmth I didn't deserve. You're staring, she said. Am I not allowed to? You're allowed, she whispered. But it's dangerous. How so? She smiled faintly. Because I might start believing you mean it. I leaned closer before I could stop myself. What if I do? Her breath caught. Then stop talking and prove it. And for the first time since Clara, I did something without thinking about the past. I kissed her. It wasn't loud or desperate. It was quiet, soft, almost shy. But it hit me harder than I expected. Because it felt real. When we finally pulled apart, she exhaled shakily. That didn't feel like pretending. It wasn't, I said. She smiled, and for a moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Peace. But it didn't last. As she leaned her head on my shoulder, my chest tightened with guilt. I thought of the first day I texted her, how I told myself she was a tool, a step in my plan. How many lies I'd built this on. She didn't deserve that. "You're quiet," she murmured. "Just thinking," I said. "About Clara?" "No," I whispered. "About you," she smiled softly. "That's new. I mean it, Maya, you're different." "I better be," she teased, "or I wasted all that charm." I chuckled, but it faded quickly. "Maya, if you ever found out Stop," she said, pressing a finger to my lips. "You don't have to explain. Not tonight." Her trust hurt more than her suspicion ever could have. Later, after she left, I sat at my desk, staring at my half-finished notebook. Words poured out, not about revenge, but about her laugh, her strength, her truth. I hadn't written like that since before the betrayal. Maybe this was healing. Or maybe it was another illusion. Noah texted me. "Noah, you look happier lately," I typed back. "Me, I'm trying." Then, before I could stop myself, I added another message. "Me. Do you think someone can forgive a lie if love came out of it?" He replied a minute later, "Noah, depends on the person. But if you love her, tell her before she finds out. Lies rot faster than hearts heal." I stared at his message until the words blurred, because I knew he was right. Maya was the first person who saw me as more than what Clara broke, and I was falling for her, while hiding the one truth that could destroy everything. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Maya's smile, soft, trusting, undeserved. The lie had grown too heavy to carry. It didn't matter that I loved her now. I had built it all on rot. I called her the next morning. "Can we talk?" Her tone was light, unaware. "Sure, my place or yours?" "Mine," I said. "Please!" She arrived 20 minutes later in a loose gray sweater and tired eyes. She smiled. "You look like you haven't slept in years." "I haven't," I said. "There's something I need to tell you." "Okay," she said, sitting on the couch. "You're scaring me a little." I took a breath. "When we met, it wasn't by accident." Her smile faltered. "What do you mean?" "I knew who you were. I knew you worked with Clara," she blinked. "So? I sought you out," I said. "Because I wanted her to see me move on. I wanted to hurt her." Her body stiffened. "You're joking." "I wish I was." She stood up slowly. "So what? I was part of your revenge?" "Yes," I whispered. At first, she repeated, her voice breaking. "And later? What changed, Ethan?" "Your conscience?" "You did," I said. "You made me stop hating everything. I fell for you." "Don't!" she snapped. "Don't try to romanticize this." "I'm not," I said, stepping closer. "You were never supposed to matter, but you did. You were supposed to be a distraction, and somehow you became— Stop!" she shouted. "Just stop!" Her hands trembled. "I told you everything about me. My ex, my past, my scars. You used that?" "No," I said quickly. "I swear I didn't mean to." "But you did," she cut in. "You used me to get back at her. You planned this." Her voice cracked on the last word, and I felt it like a knife. "Maya, I love you," I said. I didn't realize it until it was too late. "I thought revenge would fix me. You thought destroying someone would heal you," she said coldly. "Congratulations, you destroyed someone again." I reached for her hand, but she pulled back. "Maya, please!" She shook her head. "You're just like them." The words hit harder than any punch I'd ever taken. She turned toward the door. "Maya, don't go," I said. "Please, just let me explain." "There's nothing left to explain," she said quietly. "You lied every time you smiled at me. Every time you touched me." "It wasn't all a lie," I said desperately. "I swear what I feel now doesn't matter," she said, her eyes wet. "You built us on deceit. I told you I hated betrayal. You made me live it again." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "You were my safe place, Ethan, and now you're just another scar." She opened the door, paused for a second, long enough for me to hope she'd turn around, then left. The silence that followed was unbearable. I sat on the floor, staring at the door she walked through, hearing her words replay again and again. "You're just like them." I thought revenge would make me strong. Instead, it hollowed me out. I broke the one person who believed I could be good again. Hours passed. Maybe days. I didn't move. My phone buzzed. Noah's name flashed, but I couldn't answer. I wanted to tell him I'd finally told the truth. That I'd done the right thing. But doing the right thing had never felt so wrong. I looked around the apartment. The takeout boxes, her sweater still draped over the chair, the faint scent of her shampoo. Everything felt haunted. I whispered to the empty room, "I didn't mean to lose you." My voice cracked. "I just wanted to stop hurting." The words echoed back at me like mockery. For the first time in months, I didn't feel angry at Clara. I didn't feel vengeful or powerful. Just empty, because in trying to stop being a victim, I'd turned into the villain, and villains don't get forgiveness. I hadn't heard from anyone in weeks. The silence was strange, not painful, just still, like my life was finally catching its breath. Then Noah called. "You heard about Claire and Liam?" I rubbed my eyes. "No, what now?" He sighed. "It's bad." His big deal fell through. Investors pulled out. Word is he's bankrupt. I leaned back on the couch. "And Clara?" "She left town," he said. "Packed up, gone. No goodbye, nothing." I stared at the ceiling. "Guess that's karma's version of poetry." "You didn't have to destroy them," Noah said quietly. "Life did it for you." I let out a dry laugh. "Yeah, but it doesn't feel like victory." "It's not supposed to," he said.
You just...
"Move on. Move on," I repeated. Easier said than done. There was a pause. "You still thinking about her, Maya?" I asked. He didn't need to answer. "Every day," I admitted. "Every time I see something good, I think she should be here." Noah sighed. "Then tell her." "I can't," I said. "She deserves peace, not another apology." He chuckled softly. "You're learning." After we hung up, I sat in the quiet for a long time. My apartment didn't feel haunted anymore, just empty in a peaceful way. I started writing again. Not about pain this time, but about rebuilding. Every word felt like a brick, every paragraph a wall against who I used to be. Weeks slipped by. I began running in the mornings, meeting new people, even laughing without guilt. But every time my phone buzzed, a part of me hoped it was her. One night, I was sitting on my balcony, watching the city lights blink like fading stars, when my phone lit up. A single message, "I miss you too." My heart stopped. I stared at the screen, reading the words over and over. The two burned deeper than I expected. I typed, erased, retyped. Then finally, "Can we talk?" The dots appeared, then vanished, then appeared again. "Tomorrow?" she replied. "Tomorrow," I sent back. Sleep never came that night. My mind kept replaying her voice, her laugh, her goodbye. Would she come to forgive me or to say it was truly over? The next evening, I reached the cafe early. It was the same place we'd first met. The smell of coffee and rain mixed in the air, familiar and grounding. When she walked in, I almost didn't recognize her. She looked stronger, lighter somehow. "Hey," I said softly. "Hey," she replied, sitting across from me. "You look..." "Better, so do you," I said. "New city life suits you." She smiled faintly. "I needed space." "I get that," I said. "I needed punishment." She raised an eyebrow. "You punished yourself enough, I think." "Maybe," I said. "But it still feels like I deserve the echo of what I did." Maya stirred her coffee slowly. "You know what hurt most? It wasn't that you lied. It was that you were honest too late." I nodded. "I know. I thought honesty would fix it, but it just exposed how far I'd fallen." She looked at me for a long time. "You look tired of fighting." "I am," I admitted. "Tired of hate, tired of pretending to be the victim or the hero. I just want peace." For the first time, her eyes softened. "That's good, Ethan. Peace looks good on you." I smiled weakly. "Does it come with forgiveness?" She hesitated. "Maybe not yet, but maybe someday." "That's enough," I said. "Someday is better than never." She looked down, then met my eyes. "You know, I hated you for a while, but I also missed you." Both feelings were exhausting. "I know the feeling," I said. "I missed you even when I hated myself." She smiled, small but real. "Then maybe we start over. Not as lovers, just people who survived each other." I let out a shaky laugh. "That sounds like the healthiest thing I've heard in months." She stood up, slinging her bag over her shoulder. "Then take care of yourself, Ethan." "You too, Maya," I said. She walked away into the cool night, her silhouette fading into the streetlights. For once, I didn't chase after her. I didn't need to. Some stories don't end with apologies. Some just end quietly, when you finally forgive yourself. The cafe hadn't changed. Same dim lights, same cracked leather seats, same soft hum of old love songs. It felt like stepping into a memory I'd left unfinished. I was early again. Maybe that was my curse, always showing up before people were ready. The doorbell chimed. Maya walked in wearing the same calm I'd once envied. She noticed me, hesitated, then smiled, small, uncertain, but real. "Hey," I said, standing. "Hey," she replied, sliding into the chair across from me. "Déjà vu?" "Yeah," I said, half laughing. "Same place, different us," she glanced around. "Feels strange, doesn't it? Like we're ghosts revisiting our past." "Maybe we are," I said. "Except this time we're not haunting it." Maya smiled faintly. "You always talk like a writer." "I've been writing again," I admitted. "Helps me make sense of everything." She stirred her drink. "So why ask me here, Ethan?" I took a breath. "To say thank you. And I'm sorry, and again. But mostly, thank you. For what?" she asked softly. "For breaking the silence," I said. "For that message, I miss you too. It gave me something I didn't know I still needed." Maya looked down at her cup. "I almost deleted it after I sent it. Why didn't you?" I asked. "Because," she said, pausing, "forgiveness isn't about you. It's about me. I didn't want to carry the weight anymore." Her words hit harder than any apology could. "You forgive me?" "Not because you deserve it," she said gently, "but because I deserve peace." I nodded slowly. "That's fair. You were always braver than me," she laughed quietly. "Don't make me out to be some saint. I hated you for a long time. You had every right to. But I also missed you," she said. "I missed who you were before all this. Before revenge made you hollow." I swallowed hard. "He's still in there somewhere, just quieter now." "I can see that," she said. "You look lighter." "Maybe because I stopped trying to win," I said. "For the first time, I don't want to prove anything." Maya leaned back. "That's growth, Ethan. Or exhaustion," I joked weakly. "Same thing sometimes," she said with a grin. We both laughed. It wasn't awkward, just gentle, healing laughter that filled the space we'd once broken. After a pause, I asked, "So, how's life treating you?" "Better," she said. "I started painting again. Opened a small studio with a friend. It feels right," I smiled. "You always said art was therapy. And you always said writing was survival," she replied. "Still true?" "More than ever," I said. "Except now I write to live, not to escape." She nodded approvingly. "That's progress." "Yeah," I said softly. "I guess this is what healing looks like. Two people drinking coffee without bitterness. Without pretending," she added. "Right," I said. "No masks left." Maya studied me for a moment. "Do you ever think about Clara?" I sighed. "Not like before. I used to replay everything, looking for signs I missed. But now, I just hope she finds peace too." "That's kind of you," she said. "It's not kindness," I said. "It's closure. Hating her kept me trapped. Letting go set me free," she smiled. "Then you really have changed." "Guess heartbreak's a brutal teacher," I said. "But it taught me how to rebuild." Silence settled between us. Not heavy, just warm. For the first time, I didn't feel like I owed her more words, but she leaned forward, breaking it. "Do you think we could ever start over?" I froze. "Start over?" "Not like before," she said quickly. "No lies, no revenge. Just two people trying again." I searched her eyes. The same eyes that once looked at me with betrayal, now holding something softer. "I'd like that," I said finally. "But only if it's real this time." "It will be," she said. "If we let it." I smiled, the ache in my chest shifting into something new. Hope. As we left the cafe, the sun dipped behind the buildings, painting the sky in shades of quiet gold. Maya walked beside me, close but not holding my hand. It didn't matter. Some connections didn't need touch. They lived in the silence between steps, in the shared breath of moving forward. At the corner, she turned to me. "You know, for a while I thought love was just pain disguised as passion. And now?" I asked. "Now," she said, smiling, I think love is what survives after ruin. I felt my throat tighten. Clara broke my heart. Liam stole my trust. But you, I paused, voice low. You taught me how to rebuild both, Maya's eyes shimmered. Then maybe we both learned something. We stood there. The city lights flickering around us. Not as enemies, not as victims, but as two people who had finally made peace with the wreckage, and as she walked away, I didn't feel lost this time. I felt gratitude for the pain that taught me love and for the love that taught me peace.